Hello, everyone. My name is Zarel Gibson. I am here to tell you my story. I have been poked and prodded and felt like a guinea pig. I have been depressed. I have fallen. I have gotten up. I have not wanted to get up. And it's been a true roller coaster in life. My story starts in '97 when I was diagnosed with lupus right after high school. I was living in California with my father and I could not breathe. My mother, who was in Houston, Texas, I called her and told her I have a hard time breathing. I'm really scared and I don't know what to do. So, of course, my mother, being the nurse, she tells me to hang up right away and to call 911. So I called 911, but I had to leave the door open so that so they could get to me. By the time they got there, they literally had to pick me up and put me on the gurney because I was in and out and my body felt like it was just heavy, like it was just done. So I remember coming to and going out on the way to the hospital. I remember coming to and seeing my mother. So you can just imagine how long I was actually out. My mother flying, having to find a flight, then flying to California, Moreno Valley, California, where I was with my father. And so there my journey began because my body was shutting down on me. And the doctors did not want to test me for lupus when my mother asked them to. They said she doesn't look like she has all the signs of lupus. So my mother had to be extremely adamant about them testing me. And once they did, my test came back positive. They gave me all the right medications that I needed, and I came to. So after that, I left California, came back to Houston, Texas to stay with my grandmother. And that's exactly another part of my journey where it's like the next chapter where I literally felt like I didn't know anything about my body. My body was trying to shut down on me and I was getting extremely confused about everything. They told me I had lupus but didn't tell me what lupus was. I couldn't remember anything. I always wanted to sleep and eat. That's all I could really remember at that time. I went back and forth to the doctor a couple of years later. After trying to find my balance, I went to a doctor who told me I would never have children. And I was only 21, 22, and he looked at me straight in the face, no, just flush faced, no sympathy or anything. And I asked him, I said, "Do you realize how old I am and what you're telling me?" He says, "Yes. Now it's time to get over it." Okay. So, me loving children the way that I do, that was a little hard to take. And then moving on to the next step, going back and forth to the doctor, taking all the medications that they gave me. I took medications and it blew me up to 200 and something pounds, a weight I had never been in my entire life. And when I asked the doctor about it, she told me that I was just fat. And I couldn't understand what she meant considering the fact that I had never been that size ever in my life. So I stopped taking the medication that she gave me and I lost all the weight. And the next time I saw her, she said, "Oh, you look great. What did you do?" And I told her I stopped taking your medication. So she put in my records that I was non-compliant instead of listening to me about what was going on with my body. Because as I'm going through this, I'm learning. So learning my body, I'm telling you what's wrong with it and you're telling me I'm crazy. I was young. I didn't know what to say or how to defend myself or anything. I didn't have anyone to speak to. I didn't have any support groups. Well, I take that back. There were support groups, but I felt worse leaving the support groups because it felt like a pity party. Like I was already depressed and everything that was going on, trying to fight my way and being happy. So moving on to the next doctor, The next doctor, they look at my scans and say you will not live past 24. After looking at all the history and what the doctor said and everything, they told me I wouldn't live past 24. Um, Gracefully, I am 43 as of right now, and I kept pushing. You know, I went in and tried to do everything that I felt that I was big and bad enough to do at the time that I wanted to do it, because I felt like I was going to die. So when I didn't die, I was like, what do I do now? I've learned my body. I know that I could drop at any moment because I was always in the hospital. I thought that was just the life I was supposed to live, because based off of what the doctors told me, I had to learn new purpose in life. So learning my purpose, finding my purpose, hasn't been an easy road. I've had more than one purpose to get me by to where I am today. So this is what I mean when I tell you life has been a roller coaster. I've started businesses. I've been a success. I've failed. I've learned. It hasn't been easy, being single and out here by myself. But I have truly been blessed to navigate through this life, to be who I am today, to be able to help others, to make a way. So that's me, Zarel Gibson, and I hope you get something from my story.